First contact gone wrong. The Phantom drifted silently through the void, its quantum phase hull absorbing all traces of radiation. Captain Isabella Martinez stood at the bridge, her dark eyes fixed on the tactical display showing an incoming alien vessel. This wasn't supposed to happen. Not here. Not now. Not when humanity's greatest secret was still in its testing phase. "Report," she commanded, her voice steady despite the tension crackling through the bridge. Lieutenant James Okonjo's fingers danced across his console. "Unknown configuration. Captain, the vessel's energy signature doesn't match anything in our database. It's massive, almost 3 kilometers in length." Isabella squared her shoulders, feeling the weight of command press down on her. The Phantom represented humanity's greatest technological achievement, a ship capable of manipulating quantum states at will, a secret that could either save their species or doom it if discovered too soon. Multiple energy spikes. Commander Raj Patel shouted from his station. "They're scanning the sector." Isabella's mind raced through their options. The Phantom's quantum phase technology made them virtually invisible to conventional detection methods, but these weren't conventional aliens. The vessel's design spoke of technological sophistication far beyond what Earth's intelligence suggested any known species possessed. "Hold position," she ordered. "Let's see what they're looking for." The alien ship moved with impossible grace for its size, its hull shimmering with patterns that seemed to defy physics. As it drew closer, Isabella could make out more details through the main viewport. Its surface wasn't solid but rather a constantly shifting matrix of what appeared to be liquid metal. "Captain," Lieutenant Sofia Volkov called from her communications station, "we're picking up a transmission. It's different. The signal structure suggests they're not just broadcasting. They're somehow quantum entangling their communications." Isabella felt her blood run cold. Only one other group in known space had that capability, her own crew. The Phantom's quantum communications array was supposed to be unique, a breakthrough that had cost dozens of lives and billions in resources to develop. "Can you decode it?" Sophia worked furiously at her station. "Partially. It's a declaration, Captain. They're claiming this sector in the name of something called the Zarkari Empire. She paused, her face paling. "They're detecting quantum manipulation signatures in this sector. They know someone's been experimenting with their technology." The bridge fell silent. Humanity's greatest secret, their mastery of quantum phase technology, wasn't just at risk of discovery. It had already been detected. Commander Patel's console suddenly erupted in warnings. "Multiple ships decloaking. We're surrounded." The space around them seemed to ripple as 7 more vessels materialized, their liquid metal hulls forming a perfect containment pattern. Each one bristled with weapons that made Earth's most advanced artillery look like children's toys. "This is High Commander Vexthor of the Zarkari Empire," a voice boomed through their communications system, speaking perfect English. "To the vessel utilizing quantum manipulation technology. You have violated Imperial law by developing forbidden technologies. Surrender immediately and prepare for boarding. Resistance will result in immediate destruction." Isabella's mind raced through scenarios, each one worse than the last. The Phantom could probably escape. Their quantum phase drive could slip between the fabric of space-time itself. But doing so would confirm humanity's mastery of the technology, painting a target on Earth that would never fade. "Options," she demanded. "We could surrender," Raj suggested, though his tone made it clear he didn't favor this approach. "Try to negotiate, and hand over everything we've worked for." Sophia countered. "They'd strip Earth of every quantum secret we've developed." James spoke up from his station, his voice quiet but firm. "We could fight. The Phantom's weapons aren't just for show." Isabella stared at the tactical display, watching as the alien ships tightened their formation. Each passing second brought them closer to a point of no return. Whatever choice she made would affect not just her crew, but the entire human race. "All hands," she announced, her decision made. "Battle stations. The bridge transformed as crew members snapped into action. Shield generators hummed to life, weapon systems charged, and the quantum phase drive spooled up for emergency maneuvers. Send this message, Sophia. This is Captain Isabella Martinez. We acknowledge your presence, High Commander, but we reject your authority over this sector. We will defend ourselves if threatened. The response was immediate. Energy weapons flared to life across the alien fleet, their liquid metal hulls rippling with patterns that suggested weapons far beyond human understanding. You have made your choice. High Commander Vexthor's voice carried a note of what might have been regret. Know that what follows is the consequence of your defiance. Isabella allowed herself one small smile. Prepare for quantum phase shift. Let's show them what humanity's been keeping secret. The battle that would reshape the galaxy was about to begin, and aboard the Phantom, Captain Isabella Martinez prepared to either save humanity or doom it with a single command. The hidden arsenal. Time seemed to freeze as the Phantom engaged its quantum phase drive. Reality bent around the experimental vessel, transforming its sleek hull into something that existed in multiple states simultaneously. Captain Isabella Martinez felt the familiar disorientation as her ship shifted between dimensions, a sensation that even years of training couldn't fully prepare her for. All quantum states stable, Lieutenant James Okonjo reported, his fingers dancing across holographic controls. We're existing in 7 different dimensional planes simultaneously. The Zarkari fleet's energy weapons passed harmlessly through the spaces where the Phantom had been. And still was. Their advanced targeting systems confused by a ship that refused to exist in just one place at a time. They're adapting, Commander Raj Patel warned, studying the tactical display. Their liquid metal hulls are reconfiguring to emit some kind of quantum detection field. Isabella had expected this. The Zarkari's technological sophistication meant they wouldn't be confused for long. But confusion wasn't her goal. She needed them angry, focused entirely on the Phantom and its impossible abilities. Deploy quantum torpedoes, she ordered. Target their primary power matrices. Let's show them what happens when you threaten Earth. The weapons that launched from the Phantom's multiple quantum states weren't conventional explosives. Each torpedo existed in a state of quantum flux, capable of passing through solid matter until it reached its programmed destination. The Zarkari's shields, no matter how advanced, were useless against weapons that could simply phase through them. High Commander Vexthor's voice crackled through their communications, genuine surprise evident in his tone. Impossible. Your understanding of quantum mechanics cannot be this advanced. Who are you? Who helped you develop this technology? 3 Zarkari vessels went dark as quantum torpedoes materialized inside their power cores, their liquid metal hulls freezing into rigid, lifeless forms. But the remaining 5 ships were already adapting, their hulls pulsing with new patterns that threatened to collapse the Phantom's quantum superposition. They're using some kind of quantum entanglement disruptor, James reported urgently. Our phase variance is becoming unstable. We can't maintain multiple states much longer. Lieutenant Sofia Volkov's voice cut through the controlled chaos on the bridge. Captain, massive power signatures detected at the edge of the system. More Zarkari ships incoming. At least 20 vessels. Isabella felt the weight of command press down on her shoulders. The Phantom carried more than just revolutionary technology. It carried the key to humanity's survival. Hidden deep within its computer core was the complete database of Earth's quantum research, including theories and technologies that hadn't even been tested yet. Begin emergency protocols, she commanded. Prepare to collapse all quantum states except primary. Plot a course for the Kuiper Belt. As her crew rushed to comply, Isabella activated a secure channel to Earth Command. This is Captain Martinez. Initiating Protocol Omega. I say again, initiating Protocol Omega. The response was immediate. Understood. Phantom. The Lazarus Protocol is now active. Good hunting, Captain. Isabella allowed herself a grim smile. Everything was proceeding according to plan. A plan decades in the making. The Zarkari thought they were chasing a single advanced ship, but they were about to discover just how deeply humanity had delved into the quantum realm. All quantum states collapsed except primary, James reported. We're back in normal space. Initiate Operation Looking Glass, Isabella ordered, watching as the pursuing Zarkari fleet grew larger on their view screen. The Phantom's systems began to reconfigure themselves, preparing for something that no other ship in history had ever attempted. The quantum phase drive wasn't just capable of shifting the ship through space. It could create a localized bubble of quantum uncertainty large enough to swallow an entire fleet. Operation Looking Glass online, James announced. Quantum field expanding. Isabella took one last look at the tactical display. Behind them, the Zarkari pursuit fleet was closing in. Ahead, their reinforcements were arriving through quantum space. They thought they had the Phantom trapped between hammer and anvil. They were wrong. Execute Looking Glass, she commanded. Let's show them what happens when you corner a species that spent its entire existence preparing for the impossible. The space around the Phantom began to ripple as reality itself prepared to tear open. The quantum bubble expanded, engulfing first the nearest Zarkari ships, then spreading outward like a wave of pure possibility. Inside the bubble, the laws of physics began to break down, quantum uncertainty expanding from the subatomic scale to encompass entire warships. High Commander Vexthor's final transmission was filled with something humans had never heard in a Zarkari voice before. Fear. What have you done? What are you? The quantum bubble reached its critical point, and in that moment, Captain Isabella Martinez gave her answer. We are humanity's response to a universe that thought we would always be prey. The bubble collapsed, and with it, the space containing the Zarkari fleet transformed into a quantum probability storm. Ships existed and didn't exist simultaneously, their advanced technology useless against fundamental forces they had never dreamed of controlling. When the quantum storm cleared, the Phantom hung alone in space. Where 24 Zarkari warships had been, there was now only empty void. And a message for any species that thought Earth would be an easy target. The Phantom's quantum drive powered down, its hidden arsenal having served its purpose. But Isabella knew this was just the beginning. The Zarkari Empire would come in force now, bringing everything they had against the upstart species that had dared to master the quantum realm. And Earth would be ready. Send word to command, she ordered Sophia. Tell them it's time to wake the rest of the fleet. As the Phantom turned toward home, its quantum engines humming with power, Isabella thought about the secret she had just revealed to the galaxy. The Phantom wasn't humanity's only quantum-capable ship. It was just the first. Deep beneath the ice of Europa, an entire fleet of quantum warships waited for the signal to emerge. The real war was about to begin, and humanity had just shown its hand. The galaxy would never be the same. Empire's wrath. The quantum sensors aboard Earth's orbital defense platforms detected the Zarkari invasion fleet long before it arrived. 300 warships, their liquid metal hulls gleaming with deadly purpose, emerged from quantum space at the edge of the solar system. The Empire had finally come to claim what they believed was rightfully theirs. Admiral Marcus Kenzo stood in Earth's Strategic Command Center, watching as holographic displays tracked the approaching armée. After 30 years serving in Earth's defense forces, he had always known this day would come. Humanity's mastery of quantum technology couldn't remain secret forever. Status of Operation Lazarus, he asked, his voice steady despite the weight of the moment. Director Natasha Yuan, head of the Quantum Development Program, stepped forward. The Europa fleet is ready, Admiral. All 50 quantum phase ships are operational. Captain Martins and the Phantom have joined them beneath the ice. The massive holographic display showed Jupiter's ice-covered moon, beneath which humanity had hidden its greatest achievement, a fleet of warships even more advanced than the Phantom. Each vessel carried quantum weapons that could rewrite the laws of physics themselves. Message from the Zarkari fleet, Lieutenant Commander Wei announced. They're demanding our immediate surrender and the handover of all quantum technology. They claim our primitive species has no right to such advanced science. Marcus allowed himself a grim smile. The Zarkari's arrogance would be their undoing. They still didn't understand what they were facing. A species that had spent its entire existence preparing for this very moment. "Send our response," he ordered. "Tell them humanity respectfully declines their offer." The Zarkari fleet's response was immediate and devastating. Energy weapons capable of cracking planets lit up the void, targeting Earth's orbital defenses. But as the beams approached, something unexpected happened. The space around Earth shimmered, and reality itself seemed to bend. The attack dissipated harmlessly against a quantum shield that encompassed the entire planet. Technology that the Zarkari had thought impossible on such a scale. "Quantum planetary defense grid holding steady," Natasha reported, pride evident in her voice. "All power systems nominal. They didn't expect us to be able to protect the entire planet." Marcus nodded. "Signal the Europa fleet. Tell Captain Martinez it's time for humanity to show its true strength." Beneath Europa's icy surface, 50 quantum phase ships powered up their engines. The ice above them began to crack and shatter as reality warped around their hulls. The Phantom led the formation, its advanced sensors already mapping quantum vectors through space. The Zarkari fleet detected the new threat too late. By the time their sensors registered the quantum disturbance around Europa, humanity's hidden arsenal was already moving to attack positions. High Admiral Vexnor of the Zarkari Empire watched in disbelief as his tactical display lit up with impossible readings. Impossible. Their quantum mastery extends far beyond what we detected. How long have they been preparing for this? The answer came in the form of coordinated quantum strikes that defied the laws of physics themselves. The Europa fleet didn't just attack the Zarkari ships, they rewrote the space around them. Reality became fluid, probability itself becoming a weapon in humanity's hands. Multiple Zarkari vessels experiencing quantum field collapse, Way reported, tracking the battle. Their liquid metal hulls are failing to maintain coherence under our attacks. But the Empire hadn't become the dominant force in the galaxy by being unprepared. Their remaining ships began to adapt, their hulls reconfiguring to generate quantum nullification fields. The battle escalated as both sides deployed weapons that could tear holes in the fabric of spacetime. "They're targeting the quantum shield around Earth," Natasha warned. "Their combined firepower might be enough to collapse it." Marcus had anticipated this. "Activate the quantum resonance arrays. Show them why humanity's approach to quantum physics is different from anything they've encountered." Across Earth's surface, hidden installations powered up. They weren't weapons in the conventional sense. They were probability manipulators, devices capable of altering the quantum state of space itself. As they activated, the laws of physics around the battling fleets began to change. The Zarkari ships suddenly found their quantum nullification fields working against them. Their advanced technology, based on rigid laws of quantum mechanics, couldn't adapt to space where those laws changed randomly from moment to moment. "Remarkable," High Admiral Vexnor transmitted, his message reaching Earth despite the chaos of battle. "You haven't just mastered quantum technology. You've learned to break the rules themselves. That's humanity's greatest strength," Marcus responded. "We don't just accept the rules of the universe. We question them, bend them, and when necessary, we change them entirely." The battle reached its crescendo as the Europa fleet, led by the Phantom, executed a synchronized quantum phase shift. 50 ships existed in 50 different quantum states simultaneously, each one targeting a different section of the Zarkari fleet. The space around the battling armadas became a storm of quantum possibilities. When reality stabilized, over half the Zarkari fleet had vanished, their ships scattered across countless quantum dimensions. The remaining vessels, their liquid metal hulls now rigid and lifeless, drifted in space as their crews struggled to comprehend what they had witnessed. "Signal from the Zarkari command ship," Way announced. They're requesting a ceasefire." Marcus exchanged looks with Natasha. This wasn't just a victory in battle. It was a fundamental shift in the balance of power throughout the galaxy. Humanity had proven itself capable of not just matching the most advanced species in known space, but surpassing them. "Accept their request," he ordered. "But make our position clear. Earth and its quantum technology are not prizes to be claimed. We are not some primitive species to be conquered or controlled." As the quantum storms of battle faded, Marcus knew this was just the beginning. The galaxy would never be the same after this day. Humanity had revealed itself as a force capable of rewriting the laws of reality itself. The age of human expansion into the cosmos had begun, and not even the laws of physics could stand in their way. Shadows of deception. In the secured quantum vault beneath Geneva's World Science Center, Director Natasha Yuan stood before the artifact that had changed humanity's destiny. The crystalline structure, no larger than a basketball, pulsed with an inner light that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions simultaneously. "Tell them everything," Admiral Marcus Kenzo said quietly. "The Zarkari have earned that much after today's battle." High Admiral Vexnor of the Zarkari Empire studied the artifact through compound eyes, his liquid metal ceremonial armor rippling with patterns of disbelief. "Impossible. This is precursor technology. The quantum signature matches our most ancient records." Natasha nodded, remembering the day 30 years ago when deep-sea mining operations had discovered the artifact buried in the Mariana Trench. "We found it by accident. At first, we thought it was just an unusual crystalline formation. Then it started communicating with our quantum computers. The artifact's glow intensified, responding to their presence. Its surface showed impossible geometries, patterns that existed in more dimensions than the human mind could comprehend. This was humanity's greatest secret, the source of their quantum technological revolution. "The precursors," Vexnor whispered, his translator struggling to convey the reverence in his voice. "The ones who seeded the galaxy with quantum knowledge before vanishing 50,000 years ago. We thought we were their chosen inheritors." "There was nothing chosen about it," Marcus replied. "The artifact wasn't meant for anyone specifically. It was a test, waiting to see which species would understand its true purpose." The holographic displays around them activated, showing the decades of research that had led to humanity's quantum breakthrough. The artifact hadn't simply provided technology. It had taught them to think differently about the nature of reality itself. "Your empire mastered quantum mechanics," Natasha explained, "following the rules the precursors left behind. But humans, we questioned those rules. We asked why reality had to behave the way it did." The artifact responded to that curiosity. Lieutenant Commander Wei entered the vault, carrying fresh tactical updates. "The remaining Zarkari fleet has withdrawn to Neptune's orbit. Our quantum sensors detect they're in communication with their homeworld." Vexenor's armor rippled with patterns that the humans had learned to recognize as emotional turmoil. "For 10,000 years, the Empire has believed itself the guardian of precursor knowledge. We thought their quantum technology was meant to establish order in the galaxy. But that's not what they wanted," Natasha said softly. "The artifact showed us the truth. The precursors didn't want order. They wanted evolution. Growth. Change." The crystalline structure pulsed again, projecting quantum equations into the air around them. But these weren't the rigid formulas the Zarkari had followed for millennia. These showed how reality could be reshaped, how the laws of physics themselves were more like guidelines than absolute rules. "The Phantom wasn't just a warship," Marcus revealed. "It was our proof of concept. Proof that humanity had understood what the precursors were trying to teach. That's why its quantum technology worked differently from anything your empire had seen." Vexnor moved closer to the artifact, his armored hand reaching out but stopping just short of touching it. "Our oldest texts speak of the precursors as beings of pure order, establishing the laws that govern the universe. We built our entire civilization around maintaining those laws." "Look closer," Natasha encouraged. "See what we saw." The artifact's display shifted, showing the truth that had shaken humanity's understanding of physics. The precursors hadn't established the laws of quantum mechanics. They had proven those laws could be transcended. Your ships use quantum technology to work within the rules of reality, Marcus explained. Ours use it to change those rules entirely. That's why your fleet couldn't adapt to our attacks. You were trying to impose order on space that we had made fundamentally chaotic. Military alerts suddenly blared through the facility. Lieutenant Commander Wei's expression turned grave as he checked his quantum-linked display. Multiple quantum ruptures detected at the edge of the system. The Zarkari Empire. They're sending their entire home fleet. Vexenor's armor turned pitch black, a sign of deep shame in his culture. The High Council won't accept this truth. They'll view it as heresy against everything we believe about the precursors. They'll try to destroy the artifact and any trace of this knowledge. Natasha exchanged looks with Marcus. They had prepared for this possibility, but the scale of the response was beyond their worst projections. The Empire's home fleet comprised over 1,000 ships, each one carrying enough firepower to crack a planet. How many quantum phase ships can we deploy? Marcus asked Wei. The Europa fleet is still recovering from the last battle. We have maybe 30 ships combat ready. The Phantom's quantum drive is fully operational, but we'd still be outnumbered 30-1. Natasha finished. She turned to the artifact, its glow now pulsing in patterns she had learned to read over decades of study. Unless. Marcus recognized the look in her eyes. You've found something else in the artifact's data, haven't you? Not found, she corrected. Understood. The precursors didn't just leave us technology. They left us a choice. She gestured to the quantum equations floating around them. These aren't just formulas for weapons or defenses. They're instructions for something much bigger. Vexenor studied the equations, his compound eyes widening. You can't be serious. The energy requirements alone would be impossible. Natasha smiled. That's exactly what everyone said about the Phantom's quantum drive. Sometimes, the only way forward is to attempt the impossible. The artifact's glow intensified, as if responding to her determination. The quantum equations shifted, forming patterns that hinted at something that would change the galaxy forever. Send word to the Europa fleet, she ordered Wei. Tell Captain Martinez to prepare the Phantom for one last mission. It's time to show the galaxy what humanity can really do when pushed to its limits. As the quantum alerts continued to blare, warning of the approaching Armada, Natasha looked at the artifact that had set all of this in motion. The precursors hadn't chosen humanity to inherit their legacy. Humanity had chosen itself by daring to question the very nature of reality. And now, with the Empire's home fleet approaching and the fate of Earth hanging in the balance, they would have to make one final choice that would either save their species or tear the fabric of space-time apart. Dawn of a new era. The Phantom hung in space near Jupiter's orbit, its quantum phase drive humming with power unlike anything it had ever generated before. Captain Isabella Martinez watched as her tactical display tracked over 1,000 Zarkari warships approaching from the outer system. The Empire's entire home fleet had come to erase humanity's quantum breakthrough from existence. Quantum core at maximum capacity, Lieutenant James Okonjo reported, his voice steady despite the tension. The artifact's equations have been fully integrated into our systems. Through the quantum link communications, Director Natasha Yuan's voice came through clearly from Earth. Remember, Captain, this isn't just about survival anymore. The precursors left us this knowledge for a reason. They wanted to see if any species could transcend the boundaries they themselves never dared to cross. Isabella looked at the crystalline shard installed in the Phantom's bridge, a piece of the original artifact, pulsing with otherworldly light. The equations it displayed weren't just about manipulating quantum states anymore. They were about something far more fundamental. All Europa fleet vessels in position, Commander Raj Patel announced. 30 ships, forming the quantum resonance pattern as calculated. The remaining quantum phase ships arranged themselves in a precise geometric pattern around the Phantom, their drives synchronized to create a lattice of quantum fields that stretched across space itself. What they were about to attempt had never been theorized, let alone tried. High Admiral Vexner's transmission cut through their preparations. "This is your final warning, humans. The Empire cannot allow such heresy against the natural order. Surrender the artifact and accept your place in the hierarchy of species." Isabella exchanged looks with her crew. They had all seen the truth in the artifact's data. The precursors hadn't established the natural order. They had proven it could be transcended. Transmission from Earth Command. Lieutenant Sofia Volkov reported. "Admiral Kenzo says. He says, make history. Phantom." Isabella took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the moment. "Begin the sequence. Let's show the galaxy what happens when humanity stops playing by everyone else's rules." The Phantom's quantum drive engaged, but not to shift through space or generate weapons. Instead, it began to resonate with the artifact shard, creating patterns of quantum interference that spread through the entire fleet formation. "Carry vessels launching quantum torpedoes," Raj warned. "Impact in 30 seconds. Stay focused," Isabella commanded. The equations predicted this. Let the pattern build. Around the Phantom, space itself began to change. The quantum resonance pattern generated by the fleet wasn't just affecting local spacetime. It was rewriting the fundamental forces that governed reality itself. "Pattern reaching critical threshold," James reported, his voice filled with awe. "Quantum coherence extending beyond predicted parameters. It's working." The approaching Zarkari weapons suddenly froze in space, caught in a region where the laws of physics themselves had become fluid. The Empire's mighty fleet found itself trapped in a zone where their rigid understanding of quantum mechanics no longer applied. By the first light, High Admiral Vexner's voice carried genuine fear. "What have you done?" "What the precursors hoped someone would eventually do," Isabella replied. "We're not just bending the rules anymore, Admiral. We're rewriting them completely." The space around the human fleet had become a cascade of quantum possibilities. Reality itself seemed to flow like water, responding to the collective will of the quantum-linked ships. The artifact's glow intensified, its light spreading through the Phantom's hull, until the entire ship shone like a newborn star. "Multiple quantum ruptures detected," Sophia announced. "But they're different from anything we've seen before. They're stable." Isabella smiled. This was what the precursors had been waiting for. A species willing to take their quantum manipulation to its ultimate conclusion. Not just traveling through space, but transforming it. "Send the signal to Earth," she ordered. "Tell them to activate all remaining quantum resonance arrays. It's time to show everyone what humanity has really been building towards." Across the solar system, hidden quantum installations powered up. The pattern generated by the fleet expanded exponentially, creating a web of transformed space that encompassed the entire solar system. Reality itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting for the final command. "Attention Zarkari fleet," Isabella broadcast. "What you're witnessing isn't an attack. It's an invitation." The precursors didn't want their knowledge used to enforce order. They wanted it used to break down the barriers between species, between possibilities, between realities themselves. The Phantom's quantum drive reached its peak, the artifact shard's light now so bright it was almost impossible to look at. In that moment, Isabella understood with perfect clarity what humanity had been chosen to do. "Execute final sequence," she commanded. "Let's make the precursors proud." The quantum web activated, and the solar system changed forever. Space-time itself transformed, creating what the precursors had only theorized, a permanent quantum field where multiple realities could coexist, where the laws of physics were suggestions rather than rules, where consciousness itself could shape the nature of existence. The Zarkari fleet found itself in a region of space where their rigid technology could evolve beyond its original design. Their liquid metal hulls responded to the quantum field, gaining capabilities their builders had never imagined possible. This, Isabella transmitted to the awestruck Empire fleet, is what the precursors wanted. Not a single species dominating through advanced technology, but all species learning to transcend their limitations together. High Admiral Vexner's response came after a long pause. Our oldest texts, they spoke of this, not as history, but as prophecy, a time when the barriers between possible and impossible would fade, when the galaxy itself would transform into something new. The quantum field stabilized, creating a permanent change in the fabric of local spacetime. Earth and its solar system had become something unprecedented, a place where multiple quantum states could coexist, where consciousness and reality interplayed in ways that defied conventional physics. "Stand down your weapons," Vexnor commanded his fleet. "We are witnessing what our ancestors only dreamed of. The dawn of a new era in the galaxy's evolution." As the Empire's weapons powered down, Isabella looked at her crew, humans who had just helped reshape reality itself. The Phantom had started as a secret weapon, carrying humanity's quantum technology into space. It had ended as something else entirely, the key to unlocking the galaxy's next stage of existence. "Send word to Earth," she ordered Sophia. "Tell them Operation Transcendence is complete. The solar system is now humanity's gift to the galaxy, a place where any species can come to discover what they might become." The artifact's glow settled into a steady pulse, its purpose finally fulfilled. Humanity hadn't just proven itself worthy of the Precursor's legacy, they had taken it further than its creators had ever imagined. As the Phantom turned toward Earth, leading both human and Zarkari ships through transformed space, Isabella knew that this wasn't an ending. It was a beginning. Humanity had opened a door that could never be closed, creating a future where the only limit was imagination itself. The dawn of a new era had arrived, and it had started with a single ship that dared to carry the greatest secret in the galaxy, the truth that reality itself was waiting to be reshaped by those brave enough to try.